Good morning, everybody. I'm back in the very empty and echoing Zen Den. Nice to be here with you this morning. This is the last week of morning classes. No class Sunday, and then I'll see you in September. But for now, let's begin. Just a loving reminder, it is very warm out. Make sure that you've got a glass or a bottle of water hanging around so that you can get lots of hydration in the body. It doesn't take much for the body to tip over if it doesn't get enough hydration. So drink as much water as you can tolerate. Closing down your eyes and settling into the felt sense of your physical body, just as it is right now. It doesn't need to be any different, just as it is. The aliveness that's present, the areas that perhaps don't feel as alive. And maybe offer those parts a little extra tenderness and care. And if your mind offers you a thought, acknowledging that offering, you decide what you'd like to do with that thought. And that choice is not wrong, it's not right. It's just a choice. Perhaps framing it in a way that promotes your highest and greatest good. We often take thoughts and gnaw on them and chew them up and make them more than they actually are. And that's not necessarily our greatest good, at least not for mine anyway. And now could you shift your attention to a gentle, friendly attention on the breath? Just notice how your breath feels in your body this morning. Allow your eyes to float open, lean back so that you can cross your legs in the opposite direction. Let your hands rest on your knees, tilt forward, and let your weight shift over to one side, and then back in behind you, and then over to the other, and then forward. And feeling your weight distribution shift. And then sweeping gently and shifting your direction. And then coming back to center, hands on knees, exhale, tuck back. We're just doing seated cat-cow. And as best you can, as you move your body, this is not something that we're using the mind for. Actually tapping into the wisdom of the body, the somatic, the felt sense. Feeling those movements deep within your body and how they feel. Where the crunchy bits are, where the parts are that feel alive and open and expansive. And coming up to seated, fingertips down, breathing over to the left side. Your right fingers reach up to the right corner of your ceiling where the wall meets the ceiling, and then drop down to the right hip. Really allow the right hip to be heavy weighted. And feel the left shoulder also soften down and away from the left ear. And then bring the right arm up and over. And then feel the weight of the left hip. Fingers reaching to the other corner where the wall meets the ceiling. Soften to the right shoulder. Just giving your body these little cues, invitations. And bring the left arm up. Right hand on left knees. Twist towards your left. And then gently sweep around. Left. Twist right. And coming back to center. Taking your right foot, stepping it out towards the side, bring your arms forward so that you're not resting on the ground with your arms, and start to walk your right foot up just a little bit more. And then you're going to take your right knee and roll it down. And then you're going to bring it up. You're not going to use your hands, you're balancing, moving the right knee forward and up, and paying attention to the movement in the right hip. We're just awakening. Leaning as you move the knee forward, you're going to shift your weight to the left. And as you move your knee back, just notice how that feels. Typically, we have our hands on the ground, but we're making it a little bit more challenging. We'll do one more. And up. And then you can shift your weight, put your hands on the ground if you want to, or challenge yourself and do it without your hands. And then position your left foot where it needs to be. Do the same thing on the other side. Roll the left hip and then lift the left knee up. Roll the left knee down and bring it up. This might be a new movement for you. We've done this the other day with Helen, I think it was. There you go. Just mobilizing the hip in a little bit of a different way, opening it, bringing some lightness. Ooh, that feels a bit crunchy this morning on my left hip. Do one more. Good. And then coming down and then up, and then walk your feet forward. We're going to do something else similar, but slightly different. So you're not going to use your hands. You're going to bring your feet out towards the edge of your mat. You're going to roll your right leg, come back to center, and roll your left. So now we're doing it from side to side. What's going to happen is you're going to start to travel. It's like you're walking as you roll side to side. You may be noticing some feedback from your hips saying, what on earth are you doing to me this morning? And I'm going to almost roll up into your lap here. So let's do two more. 1, 2, and up, and then bring your hands in behind, and then scoot yourself back onto your mat center, rolling over onto your hands and knees. Well, I can certainly feel that in my hips. Tucking your toes, lift the knees, and lift your hips up and back. Remember, you can make your down dog a down puppy by walking the hands in a little closer towards your feet and shortening the space between the heel of the hand and the toes. You can bend your knees if you want and bring your thighs towards your rib cage. Down dog has many variations. 2 more breaths in your down dog. And then coming to the top of the mat. Breathing out before you come to standing. Let the breath bring you up, floating all the way up, fingertips reaching the sky, and the hands come down beside the body. Beautiful. Feet about hip width distance apart in a comfortable distance. Maybe you need to be a little wider this morning. Bring your shoulders down, and then as you inhale, slide the shoulders up, squeeze them to your ears, and let them drop down to the ground. Let them be really, really heavy. Slide up, squeeze, squeeze, drop them down. Do that one more time. Slide them up. Release down. Sweep your arms up, clasp your fingers, and then turn the palms up to the ceiling and stretching. Don't forget to sense down into the soles of your feet. And now from here, shift your weight towards your toes and see if you can lift the heels up just a titch. Just a little bit off the ground, a little bit of balance here. And then maybe you want to lift the heels up a little bit more, or leave them where they are. If your arms get tired, bring them down. And then maybe a little bit higher. A little bit more wobbly. Another breath. Lower the heels, lower the arms, and give everything a little shake out. Arms come up and around. Deep breath in through the nose, and then breathing out, deep breath out through the nose. Lift up halfway. Exhale, fingertips down, send your left foot back behind you, whole foot or toes. Keep your right knee bent, sweep your arms around beside the body. Reach up through your fingers. And now turn your palms forward. So feel the turn from the shoulder girdle versus the wrists, the elbows. See if you can sense into that movement. And then leave your palms facing forward. Take a breath in and lengthen through the right leg, reaching through the tip of the fingers. And as you exhale, press the arms down and back behind you. And as you come back, a little extra squeeze. And then as you breathe in, palms facing forward, lengthen through the right leg. And then as you exhale, soften the hips down. Back we come in a little squeeze, that extra little squeeze. And then breathing in with 3 more times. And then breathing down, push back, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen, lift, reach. Breathing down, squeeze. Last one. Now stay down, bring your hands to your hips. Take your weight to your right foot, push off through your left toes or your left foot, and let's see if we can come to balance. You may have to tap the left foot down, that's okay. And come to balance on the right foot. Flex your left. Use the strength of your hip flexors to hold the leg up. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that kind of makes sense that I'm not feeling balanced today. How's your balance going this morning? And then lower the left foot down. Inhale, breathing up and around. And then exhale. Sort of reminds me, inhale, lift up, that our emotional state, exhale, you're going to step your right foot back, whole foot or toes, is reflected very beautifully in the body. So inhale. So if you're not feeling balanced emotionally, energetically, and spiritually, that's going to manifest in your physical body because that's where it's all happening. So just notice that. Now turning the palms forward again, rolling through the shoulders. And now you're going to bend the elbows this time. So the elbows are shoulder height. So this time we're going to just do a little bit of a different arm movements. Inhale, lift up, reaching, extend and reach, palms facing forward, and then exhale, lower down. You can even bring your elbows down a little farther if you wanted to, even behind the back. And then inhale, breathe up. Just allowing your elbows to go wherever they want. If they want to come down a little lower, they can. If you're too tired, then just come down at any amount that feels comfortable. And then exhale. Breathing up. Uh-oh, I lost count. Exhale. Okay, let's do 2 more. Exhale. One more. Breathing in and then breathing out. And then the hands come to the hips. See how we do on this side. Bend the right knee, push off to the right toes. And then flex the ankle on the right foot. Hands on the hips. And slowly lower the right foot down. And now bring both toes together, the big toes, and the heels slightly apart. Bring your hands in behind you, clasp your fingers and draw your knuckles down towards the ground and feel the openness across the top of the chest. Inhale. Squeeze your inside thighs, bend your knees, shift your rib cage towards your thighs and lower down. Can you feel the connection between your rib cage and your thighs? What would happen if you bent your knees a little bit more? Would that bring you more access? Gaze down. If you like, when you take your next breath in, you can lift the hands, fists away from the low back. And feel that sensation in the shoulders. They connected to the inside line of the upper thighs. Maybe going a little further. Maybe you're squeezing a little bit more access. You're just doing whatever's best and make your shoulders feel engaged and challenged, but there's no discomfort. Taking 2 more breaths. Now from here, leave your torso where it is. Lower your hands back down if they were up and over, nice and slow. Unlock your fingers. Bring them down beside the right and the left foot. Inhale, lift up halfway, squeeze your shoulder blades. And then exhale, bring your fingers down, palms down, step back. And lower down. And be in your down dog. Check in with the whole body now. Engaging the core. Gaze forward. And then stepping or walking under the body up to the top of your mat, feet hip width distance. Inhale all the way up. And then down. Step your feet out and away from the body so that you're landing or facing the long side of your mat. And you can either have your toes pointing forward or have your heels slightly in. I tend to rotate my heels in for this one. So when you start to shift from right to left, your knees will tell you where your feet need to be. So if your knees are bothering you, change your foot position a little bit, okay? And you can make that movement as big or as small as you want. And then we're gonna add the arms. Oh, there go my crunchy feet. My gosh, my poor little body this morning is telling me all sorts of information. I'm not sure what to do with it all. And we're just swaying side to side. And now the next side we're going to hold. I'm just going to hold and make some circles in front of the body. Open wide through the shoulders, sweeping the arm forward. Doesn't matter what side you're on. And then bring your arm up and over again, and then over to the other side, sweeping the arm forward, rolling through the shoulder. There we go. And then back up to center again. Now we're going to bend the knees, let the hips drop down. Again, shift your feet. If they need to move them. And then gently see if you can take the weight down into the soles of your feet and feel the strength of your thighs holding you up. There you go. Good. Bring your arms out, palms facing forward, bend the elbows. Leave your legs exactly where they are. And from here, start to roll the arms forward and then up. So the lower body stays steady and stable. And then if at some point you can feel that burn, remember that the old days, we used to say, go for the burn. And then if your legs start to get really too hot, extend and lengthen the legs, take a break, and then come back down. We're going to do this arm movement 4 more times. I think I've mentioned this before, but way back in the day, I used to teach aerobics. I know. I love teaching aerobics, actually. Good. And then down. That was it. Lower the arms, extend the legs, feel that release of energy. Pivot your body towards the top of the mat. Bring your hands down around your front foot, and let's come into our last and final round up. And then tap down onto your knees. Come on to your cheeks and your feet. And then roll down. When the knees come in, draw the thighs towards the rib cage. Put your hands on your shins and hold the shape. So we'll move side to side in a moment, but for now, just draw the thighs to the ribs and feel the ribs moving towards the thighs. Relax the ankles and the feet, toes, shoulder blades. Settle down. And now move your hands toward your knees and take a moment to rock from side to side. So let's do happy baby this morning. We haven't done that one for a while, have we? Knees come out. Lift the heels away from the hips. Find an angle between your thighs and your shins that work for you. Not thighs, yeah, thighs and shins. And then the hands, there's so many options for the hands, but please remember that we're working on a hip opener. So wherever your hands go, they're supporting a hip opener. So if you're here and you feel your hips, and as soon as you move your hands here, it becomes something else, move your hands back in behind the back of the thighs. And then try to settle in to the back of the pelvis. So you're not lifting your hips up. You're actually wanting them to settle down. And you also might feel some sensation through the inside of the thighs as well. And just notice. What happens if you flex your ankles? Does that add a little bit of something? Or does it not make any difference at all? Can you let your belly be soft and receptive? Now you can lower your heels, bring your knees together, bring your arms out and twist. This might be a nice opportunity to scan your body and be curious if there's any areas that you're holding that you didn't know you were holding. Is there some way that you could relinquish that holding? Or is there some need for protection around that area? Is there information there that your body's actually trying to give you? And then up the other side. And then bring yourself back to your center, lay your feet down, and extend your legs towards the top of your mat. Resting on your back. And I invite you to notice the buzz, the post-yoga buzz. Maybe that buzz is a little bit stronger in certain areas, a little quieter in others. Acknowledging if your mind feels a little clearer and more open, less chattering. And then letting that go. And feel yourself becoming still. No movement anywhere except that your body needs to breathe and function. Everything is involuntary, automatic. And now can you get even more still? Perhaps you're experiencing the sensation of being heavy or light. Let's notice that. What does that experience feel like as you become still? Right. And if there's a moment where you really feel like you need to move just because you want to move, notice that and keep breathing in stillness. You don't need to do anything about that except notice. Ride out that urge. And then feel it diffuse and soften. And finally, it's gone. And you're back resting in comfortable stillness. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. And with your eyes softly closed, just beginning to sense in to the room that you're practicing in this morning. Seeing your room in your mind's eye, eyes closed. Noticing any sound. And feeling into the edges of your body, to the very edge of your skin. Feeling the air as it touches your skin. Welcoming in any movement. whatever it might be. And setting the intention that you're bringing with you into your day a little nugget, a little gift, a jewel that maybe you received in practice this morning. It serves none of us to keep our practice on the mat. It is meant to serve us in our everyday life. Bring your knees in if you haven't done so already. And then bring your knees in towards your heart center. And you can bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Let your hand rest at your heart center. It's so much easier to get over procrastination when you can start doing the things that your soul really wants you to do. Cheryl Richardson. So today, notice, what does your soul really want you to do? What does your soul really want for you? Eyes open. Thank you for your presence this morning.